We have our City Lights contract. That is our locating company, Bob. That is for 2015 and 16 contract.
Yeah, I read through it.
Yep.
Pretty similar to the contract we already had in place. There's slight increases in the cost, but they do a wonderful job for us.
Okay. That's who we are going to enter into a contract with if we get council approval.
I make a motion that we re-enter into a contract with City Lights Incorporated for our, what do you call it? Locates within the city limits.
So motion on the floor from Mike. Get a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Gina. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Looks like here and Don, you may want to talk about this, or Scott, a little bit. Kind of a zoning issue, but we have combining a couple of parcels into one. And am I correct in saying those are over in rural part of the states?
The Meyer edition, yeah.
Okay.
What ended up happening is there's two lots that are to the west of the end person is Jason Zablosky. That person has bought those two lots and wants to take the lot line out, which planning and zoning approved that if they came back with the proper paperwork, and they have.
Okay.
Otherwise, the way they'll put their house will be right basically on top of that lot line.
Okay. Typically not a problem making them bigger. It's usually when you want to cut them down.
Well,
to
see,
make them
and
smaller.
what makes that unique is that's the one where Mary Kay Norman had sold 40 feet off to Bob's Lumber in the backside, and that made it so if we didn't let them build on both lots.
We would have two unbuildable lots or one unbuildable.
Right. So with the way we did it, it just made it so they can build it.
Okay.
Good to go.
And I do believe, well, I'm sure we need a motion to allow that to happen so they can get it recorded. So it would be combining parcels. These are parcel numbers, Scotty. 42055 6,000 and 42055 7,000. You can get a motion on the floor.
I'll make that motion.
Motion on the floor by Donnie.
I'll second that.
Second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Chief isn't here, but he kind of ran through it, I believe, at the last council meeting. I know he's talked to me about it a couple times. But Eric put together a policy, new policy on protective vests. Told him I think we'd be better off, seeing as though it was going into policy, we would adopt that via resolution. So I believe Scotty came up with the resolution for that. You guys had a chance to look at that? Gina, do you want to kind of just read through that resolution? If you can find it.
It's right after the policy. Maybe this will help, just read on me here.
Gina, this might be easier for you.
Start at the end.
Sure, yep.
Resolution, what is it?
Resolution 04272015-1. A resolution adopting a protective vest policy for the Pierz Police Department. Whereas all uniformed officers and supervisors must wear protective vests during their tour of duty. In addition, all officers must wear protective vests during high-risk and/or tactical situations. Examples of high-risk or tactical situations include but are not limited to search warrant, executions, drug raids, initial crime scene response, and serving felony warrants. Whereas all officers in police-related secondary employment positions / paid details arranged through the agency must wear protective vests. Whereas it is highly recommended that all officers assigned to the investigative and administrative divisions wear a protective vest during their tour of duty. However, those officers in the detective and administrative divisions who choose not to wear the protective vests must have it immediately available at all times. Whereas supervisors shall check for compliance at the start of each shift and perform spot checks when encountering officers in the field. Whereas protective vests are to be kept clean and in good condition. Now therefore be it resolved by the Pierz City Council that the City of Pierz seeks to ensure officer safety through the use of bulletproof vests. Be it further resolved that the City Council authorizes the city clerk to attest and affix the city seal. Adopted this 27th day of April 2015 by and before the Pierz City Council.
Good, Gina. Do we have a motion on the floor to adopt the resolution?
I make that motion.
Motion made by Mike. Is there any other discussion about that? You guys all okay with that policy? We'll need a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Stephanie. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Sorry, guys, I'm scrolling more.
Me too.
Scott's gonna talk a little bit about our, the city's comprehensive plan, and, I know we, need some updates and things of that nature, but, turn it over to Scott, and you can kind of brief the council on what we got going on there.
Correct. Looking at our comp plan, I did put in the packets just to make it available so you can see it. It does show right on the front that October 2002 was the last time this was updated. So I wanted to bring this to your attention and let you know that it is X amount of years old already, that we should start looking into maybe budgeting for it. Start with some planning sessions to get this updated. We are gonna need to either go through Region 5 in JPA or otherwise our engineer to get this, to get some of the details worked out of this. So I just wanted to bring it forward and know that we are gonna start working on it and plan the budget for it as well. Is there any
Did you get,
concerns
do
about
we have
that?
any estimates on that yet?
No, I have messages out, but I didn't,
Okay.
I started with Scott at engineering, he sent me there, and then I sat there, and so I'm just trying to track down the right place to where I should.
Well, I remember when we did it in 2002, and I mean, it's pretty in-depth, but that was the first one we did.
So we have something
And it's
in
13
place.
years old.
Well,
Right,
and-
so it is time to update.
Well,
Correct.
did we?
But we have a,
Go ahead.
we have something to start
go
with.
off.
Right,
We have
right.
something to
We
go
don't
off.
have to reinvent the
It'd
wheel,
be
we
kind of
just
nice
need
if
to
we could get it
update.
done electronically too, so if we ever have to do any corrections and things of that nature.
Yes,
it'd
it
be a
is in
lot easier.
PDF file right now.
Oh, is it?
but
Okay.
We can't make any adjustments.
Okay.
I guess I didn't go too far into that part, I'm sure we can track it down.
I don't remember what it cost the first time we did that, I was trying to route my brain on that. but
Well, we were starting from scratch last time, which I think you guys were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
think-
probably quite expensive
I
versus
wanna-
now just trying to get it.
I don't know if it was 10 or 15 grand, I don't remember.
Probably true.
And I was just ballparking, thinking maybe 8 to 10. I don't know how accurate that is, that's just kind of.
Well, let's get some estimates, and, I mean, it's hard to budget for it already if we don't know where we're at.
Well, it won't be long, we'll be going into budget meetings already.
Yeah,
and
we're almost
so-
halfway through the year,
Yeah,
so-
so it'll be kind of nice to keep that thing in mind when we go into budget meetings, that we're gonna have to, create a budget or line item for that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, for the most part, we should be able to start some planning phases and stuff like that. Start doing some updates. So that's really all I had on the comp plan. I just wanted to get it in your packets, get you familiar with it, and we'll start moving forward. Is there any concerns with moving forward on it, or?
No, I think it's.
No, it's
And then you'll pull the committee together when you're ready for that.
We'll start some planning stages, but let me get the prices and stuff
Yeah.
together, and then we can, we
Like you
have,
said,
we
we
have
got-
time. I mean, it hasn't
Yeah.
been updated.
It's
for
good to
3
update
years,
it, I
so-
mean, if we're looking at land purchases or anything, I
Yes.
mean, we gotta have that's a key part of being able to get grants, being able to do planning ahead and.
Well, it helped immensely with our Safe Routes project.
Right.
If we went to had a decent comprehensive plan in place, so.
Even
I
when
credit you guys for doing that, because if we would have had that in place, we would have never got our Safe Routes.
Even with the bridge coming up on the park, you know, it'd be kind of good to start tying in the sidewalk project and stuff like that, so. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, thanks, Scotty. Scott, what do we have on an employee resignation?
Nikki Ohado, our deputy clerk, took a position elsewhere and she resigned with a 2-week notice as of today.
Okay. Well, I had a chance to just talk with Scott briefly before the meeting on this, and Scott, jump in anytime here. First of all, I'd like to say Nikki was great here. She did a heck of a job for us, and Scott was saying, she's just one of those type of people who really absorbs stuff. You didn't have to show her a lot. You put her on something, she could just take it. So
Correct.
it was kind of nice. So
She was a huge asset to the city of Pierz.
Yeah.
Hands down, I think, for the minimal experience just coming in and not really knowing what she was gonna get into. She did very well, and she was very smart and talented, so she will
Yeah.
definitely be missed.
She took care of all the electrical billing. all that.
Correct. She
all the
took care
video
of
stuff, all the
video,
electronic, Facebook, all that
correct,
other stuff.
handling calls,
Yeah.
certain things like that, but she was definitely a very high-valued employee in the city of Pierz.
Be sorry to see her leave, and we appreciate everything she was able to help us out with. With that said,
With that said, I'd make a motion to regretfully accept
Okay.
Nikki Ohato's resignation.
there is a motion on the floor from Mike. Can we get a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Gene. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously.
Just
She's got a job ready, so she doesn't need a reference.
just a maybe touch notes in regards to planning for what we're needing to do. Obviously, the goal is to try and fill that position as soon as possible. Just kind of doing some thinking and planning. We posted for 2 weeks, starting as of today. I do have it available online. And 2 weeks from today would be, I believe it's the 11th. So that give 2 weekends in the paper, 2 full weeks of online, making it visible that way and through media, and obviously word of mouth, so hopefully we can get some applicants, and I would request that we try and close it by the 11th, which would be 2 weeks from today, and then we can open from there in regards to how many applicants, if any, or however that'll be, that we can do
Yeah.
interviews, whatever.
Close
we
it by
need.
4 o'clock on the 11th, then we could
Correct.
maybe possibly put a committee together that could review apps after the council meeting. I don't know, it's a thought.
Absolutely.
Whatever,
Yes.
yeah.
Now, Pierz.
Well,
Well,
whatever.
but it has to be the administrative committee, I
Right.
think, who's going to do that, so that's very,
But, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but I know, like I said, I had a chance to talk with Scott a little bit, and, yeah, we need to hustle and try and get this position filled as soon as we can. So, we have to post for 2 weeks. I'd like, as soon as we can do it after the closing date, to try and get together and get somebody hired.
I have a thought after I talked to Scott. I mean, many companies hire a temp person to come in and like at least answer phones and take that much off of Scott.
Sure.
I think that we should look into doing something that we can't get somebody hired.
That's a good idea. Cause even, there's gonna be a two week, possibly a 4 week if we hire somebody that else has to
You have to
give
give
a
it
2 week notice.
Yes.
And you're gonna pay a little more for the temp position, but it's gonna make the transition, I think, a little easier.
Good idea.
We may definitely have to look at that. That work for you, Scott, if you would
Yeah,
decide to do
I
that?
guess, yeah, maybe through the next 2 weeks, we can kind of brainstorm and figure out where we can come from and stuff
Is
like
that,
that.
council have any problem with that? Putting somebody on temp?
Administrative committee, you guys take care of that.
I'm not on that.
It would actually allow Scott.
Feedback. We'll give you feedback.
It would allow Scott to keep going and get his stuff done.
Yeah.
Without having to nonstop be on the phone.
Yeah.
and there's times that he has meetings off premise, and there,
And
that
we
would
have
leave
a
somebody still in the
body
office.
Answer the
Um,
phone too.
Because otherwise, the council members are gonna have to take turns
Yeah,
filling in.
exactly, if that's what we have to do, that's, I heard Linda was gonna do some vacation. No, I heard Linda was gonna possibly help us out with some billing if we would,
Yes.
just that time of the month is gonna fall right
Oh,
in
Scotty
about
told me the dates that I
Okay.
could do. And
Correct, and
did
we
you
can
talk
discuss
to-
that, yes, we can discuss that as time goes on.
So figure it out. Sounds real good.
Yep, yep.
So, we will need council approval to post for the new position.
I make the motion that we post for Nikki, deputy clerk's position.
Motion on the floor by Don, can we get a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mike, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
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 Aye, opposed, carried unanimously.
We
We,
need a motion to fill it by the 10th if we need to.
if we need to, sure, we can run that motion as well. Why don't we get that out on the floor, just so everybody remembers what we did here.
I make a motion that if the administrative committee deems it necessary, that they hire a temp to fill in until a new deputy clerk is hired.
There is a motion on the floor from Steph to move forward if the need in hiring a temp to fill the deputy clerk's position.
I would second that.
Second by Donnie. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Donnie has some building
permits to go through.
applications.
All right, so, first one we have is just for a handrail to be added to a step. She filled out a permit, but really doesn't need a permit, just to add a handrail to her step. So that's more of an FYI. Second one we have is for 309 Park Avenue. That's the fella that built part of it, started tearing part of it down,
Oh.
and now is asking for a permit.
Okay.
That's actually been, we turned it down, just basically because of his drawing shows that that's where he's gonna put his shed on his property, but does not give us any kind of lot line,
Dimensions, okay.
dimension or anything else. Packet that Scott hands out has all that information on it, so when somebody doesn't do it, they just don't read the
People
packet.
print it off sometimes and stuff like that online, so. yeah.
So it has been denied right now, and then we wrote on the bottom, write your setbacks, right? Tell us what that's gonna be,
Okay.
and then it will come back to you for approval.
So we really don't need to take any action on that as far as. right now?
Other than it's been denied from,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
What is the setback supposed to be on that?
10 feet from each property line.
10 feet? Okay,
Side in.
so that's
Side
my,
and rear.
that's my property line there.
Yeah, and they don't have anything that says how far away they are from your property line.
Uh-huh.
That's why we're turning it down, or my planning and zoning turned it down.
So,
So do we need to turn that down here? Or we're
I
just-
think if it's
Because
just
you
a.
didn't bring it for approval,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Yeah, it's just an administrative
Just
thing
have
to
to
call them back.
notify them.
I'll just notify.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once they fill that stuff out, Scott, and bring it back, then it will come back through, so at the next council meeting. Next, we have, and we approved it once before, but they're come back through, and it is for the bus garage. And so you can see the banner bus garage, or was banner, now it's the school district. They're just gonna add on coming to the north. This is all their land, right here's their lot line. They're not anywhere close to anything,
Okay.
so
This is the front of the building here.
that's the front of the building.
Okay, yep.
There's the, how this goes, their lot line is way over here yet.
Oh,
So,
okay.
actually, that's the front of the building here.
And that is an addition.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's been approved by planning and zoning. And the third one is for a fence for Barb Treader, up at the north end of town. And her neighbor, it's at 220 North Main Street. Her neighbor Maria Watella also signed off on it, because the fence actually goes right up to her house. And that way wise, it gives them privacy from the backyard. And that was approved. And that's all she wrote, that's all I have.
Okay, then we will need a motion from the council to approve the addition of van and bus.
Can we
Building
approve them all at once?
and Barb Shredders. Both those motions. Ben?
Sure.
Motion on the floor from Gina.
I'll second it.
Second by Mike. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Let's see here, we have a couple of, Bob, you got anything going on?
I got a couple things.
Come on up.
I would like to continue with our crack sealing program we have. Basically, any of the new cracks that show up, we have Mike Schaefer come and router them, 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch deep. Blows them out and then he fills them with the hot rubber. It just makes the road last a lot longer. You're not getting the water going down into the base. into the
Freezing
gravel.
and, yeah.
Freezing and
and
thawing.
busting it up, yeah.
So we budget $7,000 a year for crack sealing, and I gave Mike a list of 12 streets that I'm looking at doing. We're kind of to the point where lot of the cracks have been routed, so we're just blowing them out and resealing them. And so out of these 12 streets, the estimate is $6,640.
Bob, you wanna kinda just read off if you got a list of those streets we're gonna be doing them on?
Ronald Avenue, Industrial Park Road, 3rd Avenue South, 4th Avenue South, Robert Street South, 5th Avenue South, Camick Street, Cody Court, 2nd Avenue North, Caption Street North, 1st Avenue North, 1st Avenue South.
That's good, Bob.
So a lot of these streets are in good to very good condition,
Keep that
and we're
way.
just trying to spend our money towards them
Keeping
better
them-
streets.
Yeah, keeping them that way.
We don't have a lot built up right now in the capital improvements fund to start a new project, being we just did the Roberton Park project, so it may be a few years before that fund builds up.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that at some kind of planning, figure out a way to move them up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we're budgeting 120,000 a year, which is a pretty good amount,
yeah.
so. But I'd be looking for approval for that.
Is there a motion on the floor to, that's through Mike?
Mike Schaefer, seal
Okay,
coating, yeah.
Mike Schaefer, seal coating.
I'll make that motion.
Motion on the floor by Donnie. Can you get a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Gina. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried unanimously.
What was that? 6,000?
6640.
Everything else going okay, Bob?
Good, it's going good, and I also was looking into a new pickup truck for the Public Works. And I actually checked with NJPA and also through the state bid. And I had two different dealers, so one from Fergus Falls and then Brando Motors gave me a bid as well. And actually Brando Motors came in for the lowest price. And it's a Dodge regular cab, 5.7 liter V8 Hemi engine. It's a basic model. I mean, it's crank windows, crank or manual door locks. It's nothing fancy, and it's cloth interior. But the bid price was $21,299. So I'd be looking. He doesn't have one in red,
Okay.
and they're kind of at the point where the factories are getting close to switching to the 2016. You know, making their conversion. So he's not sure if he can get this order in. That's kind of the only thing.
Okay.
Otherwise, what they can do is do the search for dealers.
Yeah.
And he thinks they have one out there somewhere.
Okay.
That'll be this. It does come with a spray and bed liner. The only thing I'd be looking to add would be a strobe light and a toolbox,
Okay.
which should be minimal.
What did you want to do with our old one, Bob?
That's, I was gonna bring that one up too. I did check with a couple of salvage yards and they're not gonna give us much.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's a safety issue or if, you know, we can sell it as is.
Yeah.
Let's take it to a junkyard. I just don't even wanna see that go out anywhere in the general public. Not with those posters on it out.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want
What actually ended up, the floor, or?
well, where the seatbelt attaches to the
Oh,
frame.
yeah, that's right, that's what it was called.
And the floor is run out through.
Pretty soon it'll be a Fred Flintstone vehicle. It needs to go away
It-
and not be a liability to the city. So
My
get it to a
request would be
junkyard
that it
and
would
done.
potentially be a liability to the city.
You'd have to sell it as is or as a salvage title, that they'd have to not use it as a vehicle.
But
Yeah,
I think it would be better if we had
if it's shot, if it's shot, it ain't worth nothing, it's shot.
Yeah, it's just too old. The junkyards, they don't want it. I mean, it's basically told us they'll crush it,
Okay.
so.
Well, first of all, I think we need a motion to approve Brandon Motors estimate, and that was what, about 21,000?
$21,299.
Can we get a motion on the floor for that?
And make that motion.
Motion on the floor by Mike, can we get a second?
Step well.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Carried unanimously.
Ladies first.
I just wanted to explain that city lights too, I guess, just so everybody knows. If somebody calls Gopher State One, call in the city. Gopher State One calls all the utilities. And us being the electric system, instead of calling us directly, they actually contact city lights.
Okay.
So then city lights sends their locator out to
Okay.
mark our electrical system.
But they still, the contact number is still the Gopher State One call.
Correct.
toll-free number, that whole thing.
And they only do our city electric lines, correct?
They actually do for CenturyLink and
They're
Minnesota,
contracted with them.
which actually helps us.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I think our residents need to know is that we don't, city lights will not do private, you know, so where it comes in, where your power comes into your property, if you say tap onto your house and go underground to your detached garage in the backyard, that's not part of the city deal. If the resident wants that located, they need to pay for that.
And actually, that's came up this year already, City Lights does not do any private locating.
No, it's all public, and that's typically what all of them do, all the locating companies. If you wanna pay them extra, some of them will, some of them will make your own electrician come out and locate the electric, but now with gas, they actually come out and locate their own line right up to your building.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the
So-
city will locate up to the building if the meter is on the building.
Okay.
Which typically it is. There's some where we have the meter on the pole,
Mhm.
and then the line goes into the building. That actually is
Okay.
the private line at
Okay.
that point. So,
That makes sense.
that's all I had.
Right, Bubble,
Thank you.
enjoy the summer.
Thanks.
Scott, you got anything?
I have two things from the administrative department. One being, upon the approval request from the veterans, for the Veterans Memorial, we agreed to pay up to $2,000 for the cement work being put in for the memorial. Premium Concrete to do the work, and it came in at $1,905. So we were under that 2,000, but Bob's gonna have some work there, I'm sure yet, so, I guess from a city standpoint.
They were working on the restoration work.
So, just as an FYI, it will be in the next month's claims, but FYI that it did come in at 1905, so we have an idea of, so we're all aware of what that price is for the concrete.
Turned out very nice.
It did.
Yeah, it is. Looks nice.
Another thing is May, the second week of May is the 25th, which is a holiday, which lands on a council meeting evening. So, thoughts on whether we should bump it out? I would have to bump it out to the 27th, which would be a Wednesday night. It would be a Wednesday night at 7, or should we just reschedule or just cancel it? Push it to the
Have
first one in
May
June.
meeting. Or just have one May meeting, we go.
Correct, have the one May meeting on 11.
Like, what if then we would be hiring somebody at that point? That
Correct.
would be imperative that we have them.
Let's,
Wednesday night doesn't work for me, I'll be gone. And that's fine, if you want a meeting, I can be gone too.
Okay.
Thursday.
yeah, we'll Skype you.
Yeah. Thursday would work. Tuesday doesn't work?
No, Tuesday does not work.
So it'd either be the 27th or 28th.
I could be here on the 28th.
It'd be
That's
week
the
after.
Monday, Memorial.
Because Memorial's the
We'll go.
25th, that would be our council meeting, so we'd
Yeah.
have to move the meeting or cancel it.
Well, Thursday works for Mike, does Thursday work for everybody else?
Yeah.
Steph, do you know what your schedule's gonna be that far out?
Night shift.
Oh, you're working on the night moves?
Night shift.
Working on it.
No problem, I can be
Working on the night
here.
moves.
You have the night shift all the time now?
Yes, I've been pretty much since today's or nights, yes.
I will do what I can to put
Okay.
things on the agenda on 11th, and for the next month, we'll just do the necessities that night and try and keep it at a reasonable time.
So I make a motion that we reschedule the council meeting from May 25th to May 28th.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion on the floor by Stephanie and second by Mike and Donnie. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
One other thing.
Does that take care of this takes care of our notification then, or that we have to, host public meetings, whatever, so this
And
takes care of
I
our,
can post it as well.
how many day notice? Okay.
Let me just write this down. Scheduled from the 25th to the 28th.
Emergency meeting. It's not an emergency meeting.
Okay, one other thing. There was a request from a resident that, much similar like the school was brought to my attention, how the school calls out for, if they're canceling school, if there's an issue with school, you get a text, a voicemail, or whatever, however you wanna set it up. A resident came and requested that we do something similar for when we do, mosquito spraying, so they don't close the windows, etc. Between Bob and I and Nikki, at the time last year, we did what we could to post it 2 days prior. We posted it in the locations, we
And
put it on
did we-
Facebook's, the website.
Did the radio put it on for us too?
Yes, when I put it, if I would put it in the agenda, it would go, cause, Corey reads off the agenda on the radio.
Can
But
we
that's
just put
not
it on
always
our Facebook
accurate.
page, or?
Yes, we can, and that's what we've
Okay.
been doing, but I guess, you know, not all, everyone has Facebook or internet or things like that.
Right.
So I did, it's called Groupcast, otherwise there's Schoolmaster, I believe it was called.
There's different things.
Yes, and they actually just changed, so the number that I was given doesn't even, it's not in service anymore, cause the names changed and they sold out, I believe. But I talked to a lady at the school, and it was $2.35 per call for the year. So just kinda.
Not per, this is mass.
Correct.
One call.
One call.
for everybody.
And it's for it covers the
Okay.
year.
I was gonna say, well, that doesn't,
Well, I
mosquito
would-
spray's cheaper, that's why I was gonna say that.
That's what I was thinking too, but I would estimate that it would probably cost $2,000 a year to have that service.
Really?
Yes, I figured 750 electric accounts, electric and utility
Mhm.
accounts that we have at $2.35 is $1,800.
Also, that is
give or
per
take
resident
200.
then, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it's per resident,
But it's
but
for
it's
many
only
times.
one
It's
fee a year.
over 1 year, yes, but I don't know what kind of equipment we need, things like that, I wasn't able to get a hold of the company, but.
Well, why don't you look into it, Scott, and see if it's.
Is it-
What nights are we gonna spray again, Bob? I mean,
It so varies.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yes,
never
it's weather,
consistent.
it's weather driven, that's.
We
bad.
have to give a 24-hour notice, and we've been
And we
posting
do.
it on the webpage.
And we posted it on our 3 main
Is it
sites.
Facebook too?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, and I don't know how complicated or what equipment we need, I mean, it's like you've got a pre-recorded message that says we're gonna be mosquito spraying tonight, you click the button
Put it
and
right on their
it
billboard.
feeds all the calls to all the people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the
Someplace.
setup.
Right on the billboard, right flat, right on the bank billboard.
I-
it's free to call into,
Spraying tomorrow.
party line, and then is that still on?
Well, if you drive the line, you should see it, right?
That's the thing, we would
Yeah,
have to
party line.
program every, you know,
Oh, you can call in there, that's free.
not thinking that far ahead on my part, just because I put together some info, but we have to upload everybody's number and things like that. And we have, you know, a handful of residents that change electrical accounts for renting a week. So
I can see this being a huge undertaking, and I mean, if you wanna research it, Scott, and just see what it's all gonna entail, you know, without spending hours and hours on it to start with. You know, maybe bring it back to one of the next meetings or the next meeting or something, if you can get a little more info on it,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
And just keep, you know, posting on the bulletin board and whatever, when you're gonna, you know,
Got
you're
any
gonna spray
idea
tomorrow
when you're
night.
gonna start?
As soon as I get.
I haven't seen a mosquito yet, so I'm just.
I've seen.
I've seen them.
Really? I seen wood ticks already, I hate to say it, but.
And
Probably before Memorial Day, I'm guessing. Yeah.
So Thursday before, or Wednesday before, something right before, whatever it
Unless
is.
they start to get bad, yeah. Legally, we have to give 24-hour notice. And posting on the website counts, so.
Yes, yes. So we do what we can with our resources in the city to
Right.
post it, so
Yeah,
it's just a matter of who's able to get onto our website, things like that.
well, we wanna try and make this service affordable too. And,
Right.
I mean, if we're looking at another huge chunk of money to get this set up and then another huge chunk of money to administer it every year along with the spraying, we're taking something that's no longer gonna be affordable for everybody either, you know, I mean, I hate to see our rates have to triple or quadruple to try and pay for these extra things.
If it's one person wants it,
The biggest thing that would probably be a headache is
the initial setup.
Yes, and then the constant turnover with our
Updating.
renters.
Yeah, updating
Yeah.
sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I can see some challenges or
But I-
expensive things.
I did wanna bring that forward.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're not leaving it.
Yep, you bet.
That way we know, that it has been requested. and it's-
Put it on the bulletin boards, could you?
Sure, sure.
But it's just a matter, I mean, we got 24 hours, so it's a matter of putting that little alert together and running it
I'm
out.
trying to get it out to people.
Yeah, so the best way
Like I said,
obviously
and it's so
is-
hard to schedule any further out than that because, you know, it's so weather driven besides, you know, if it's real windy or if it's raining or
Correct.
what other, you know.
Yeah.
it's- no. Okay. Anybody else have anything? That'll be looking for a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Motion on the floor by Donnie, can we get a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Gina. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you